Hello everyone and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today you join me for a very chilled and relaxing drive as I finally get the chance to check out the new Oklahoma DLC. We're doing a special heavy haul today from Lawton to McAlester. Now it's a special delivery because we're not just delivering tyres, we are delivering huge tyres. It's an oversized load and it's so important they even brought the TV crew here to give us an interview and to watch us leave the yard. Now we're driving the old 2014 Volvo Longnose truck in a beautiful shade of brown. They're checking that the cargo is attached to the trailer, and you can see today our journey is 182 miles. Well, let's fire the truck up, and I guess the interior does match the outside, 50 shades of brown. They're watching us leave. Let's give them a wave as we pull out of the yard. I hope you're having a great day and you've had a great week. I just thought it would be good to have an opportunity to chat. We'll see what we think about this new map as we go on our journey, and I'll catch you up on some of the things that I've been up to in the last couple of weeks. I've been doing so well in terms of putting out YouTube videos about once a week, and that's all kind of fallen apart recently, and I'll tell you why as we go on our journey today. So I've decided to kind of take a little bit of a different strategy with my YouTube videos of late. Alright, the cars have blocked all the traffic off, and we're just going to take a right here, and the international truck is waiting for us. That's nice of them. Let's check the railway lines are clear, and we'll pull safely over the railroad. I think I was doing quantity over quality perhaps before, and since I started making some better quality Call of the Wild videos, they were getting watched a lot more. I was getting a lot more likes on my videos, a lot more views, and then of course the Euro Truck video about the retro 80s Volvo FH series did really well, and I come to realize, is this barrier going to open for us? Yep, it sure is. I came to realize that maybe I shouldn't be putting out videos so often. Maybe what I should be doing is working on them a little bit longer and making sure they get more views and they're a little bit higher quality. Now we're going to take a right here. Now I'm going to use the suicide lane because nobody is in it, but yeah, this trailer is not even that long. It's mostly just a wide cargo, so I do not need to go anything like as wide as that. That was a little bit excessive there, Stu. The irony is that this video you're watching at the moment isn't a particularly high quality, high production video. Now you might notice that the visuals are a little bit different in this video, and there's good reason for that. I'm actually using my Convoy profile here, which basically means there's no mods running at all. So we've got the default rather boring and flat engine sound, got no graphic mods at all, the skybox is default, and I did this for two reasons. First of all, I've not played without mods in so long, and I want to see how this really looked, especially since this is a new map. I want to get a good feel for how it actually looks without other mods running in the background, and I have to say it looks incredible. I hope you agree. But the other reason is that I've been having a lot of frame rate issues with this game, and there's a whole catalogue of theories and solutions to fixing it. And I think what I've noticed is that if you're having problems with your game running and inconsistent frame rates, it seems to be down to two things as far as I can tell. The first problem is when you load into a big city, and you particularly notice this in a massive map like Texas, you often get a little bit of a lag as you enter that city. It's as if the game can't load the details in gently in the background. It comes in one huge wave, and you sometimes get a bit of a frame drop. Now the second issue seems to be just inconsistent drops of frames as you go throughout your journey. If you're having problems with the drop frames, what you can do is go into the graphic settings in the game and change the refresh rate to the default to like the 60 frames per second. And if you do that, that often can help with issues as well. So that's what I've done for this journey. I've went back to the default refresh rate. My monitor is like 240 hertz or something like that, and it works for the most part really well, but for some reason in this game it seems to be the solution is to turn down the refresh rate. Your eyes won't notice any difference, let me tell you. But I'm certainly not noticing any performance issues here, and certainly taking all the mods out has made it run extremely smoothly. If you haven't done a heavy haul before, they are good. I think I used to be somewhat scared of them because I always imagined that the parking job would be difficult. I think there are some hard parking jobs out there, but actually in some ways, because the traffic is blocked off for us, it can make our lives a whole lot easier. So you'll see weird things like these barriers that are showing that I normally have switched off on my videos. They're still there, and no doubt if we have to reverse, we'll have the reverse beeper on the truck and all those default things that a lot of us get rid of. And not to forget, of course, the little display that pops up when we go to park our trailer. I'm sure that will pop up repeatedly as well. Ooh, we take that corner beautifully, right on the white line there. So my first impressions of this map are good. I don't know if it looks dramatically different than some of the other maps that have released recently. I don't want to be too critical because the detail is incredible. You know, when you go through these towns and you look up side streets, the amount of assets, it really is fantastic. Alright, we're coming to a changing lane maneuver, and what this means is you've got to follow the vehicles. So the car at the rear goes over first of all, and then the car at the front does. They make a gap for us, and then we've got to keep between the two convoy vehicles. The thing that kind of frustrates me a little bit is the fact that you're on the open road, you can't pull into the motel car park, you can't pull into anywhere to eat food. The best you can do is pull into the truck stop and get fuel, check your weights. We can't even slide our tandems yet in the game, and we certainly can't get out of the truck to interact. And I just think with this beautiful scenery all the way around about us, these fantastic assets that have been made, I just feel a little bit disappointed that we can't somehow interact with these things a little bit better. But that's just me. I'm not criticizing the game. I think it's beautiful, but I just maybe personally I'm feeling now like, yeah, as excited as I am for an extra map and a new map to come out, I'm starting to feel like, well, maybe this is just more of the same. Maybe because the maps are all kind of in the same location, I don't know. Maybe we had a totally East Coast map that had a different vibe. Things might be different. Got a couple of exciting things in the works. One of them is that I'm going to team up with another YouTuber. Well, the plan is to team up with him pretty soon. I'm going to try and do a convoy together. I have not done convoys in so long. The timings sometimes just don't really work with me, with my work schedule. A lot of the guys go on in the evenings, and sometimes I'm still very much at work or weekends. I can't always commit to finding the time to go on the convoys, but I'm going to try and do one with another content creator that I think you guys might know. We're going to try and team up and do a little bit of a chat, have a little bit of an ATS convoy, I think it is we're going to go for to start with, and we might do a little bit more of exploring Oklahoma. So watch out for that in the coming weeks. Now, one of the DLCs that did come out fairly recently for ATS is the Kenworth W900 tuning pack, and I picked that up. I can't remember how much it cost. It certainly cost less than the Oklahoma map, and I'm always a little bit skeptical about some of these tuning packs, but anyway, I got it. I have to say it's wonderful. It's really good. In some ways, I think that should be standard in the game. I think that should have been maybe something that was just included. If you're into your Kenworth W900s, it adds so many options. I mean, the amount of grills and bumper options and lights, and it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I was a little bit underwhelmed that the paint jobs, there didn't seem to be an awful lot of new paint jobs there, but yeah, I was really excited for that. And the irony of this is that, you know, I get really excited about the tuning pack that I can't see, because mostly I'm just sitting in the cab of the truck. I can't see the beautiful paintwork and all the exterior features. And maybe I should be more excited about this Oklahoma map. Now I intentionally picked this job because I knew we'd be driving from the daytime in towards the night, and so we'd get to see the map and we'd get to see some of these little small towns and country roads and things like that as we were descending into darkness. And this is very much the golden hour, and I think this is where ATS looks at its best, but there's still enough brightness out there to appreciate the map for what it is and all the details that go into it. And I have to say, I cannot fault this for all the anti-aliasing weirdness that happens in this game and the slight shimmering that you get off of metal fences and things like that. It looks stunning. Well, there's no doubt that Oklahoma is a beautiful map and a beautiful area of America. If you're interested at all in the history of Oklahoma and the story of the Native Americans, the rather sad story of the Native Americans there, I want to point you towards an amazing Johnny Harris video which I watched recently, really explaining the Oklahoma story. So I'll put a link for that in the description. It's really fascinating. It talks about the broken promises that were made to the Native American people, all the policies of allotting the land. Oklahoma was created to be an Indian territory, and it was an area that lots of the Native American Indians moved to form a state that would be their own. And the video really points out how the European settlers, because of their greed, just tore up all the treaties and all the promises that were made, and essentially turned the native state, which was called Sequoia, into what we know as Oklahoma now. And it just baffles me that in a country that size, that the settlers would need this piece of land also. It just shows you the absolute injustice and greed that took place back then, and probably still does to this day. So it's a fascinating video. It was a part of history that I didn't know about. I highly recommend the video, and actually anything that Johnny Harris makes, in my opinion, is top quality journalism. Well, there's the dead centre of town over there on the left. Looks absolutely gorgeous in the dark, don't you think? One of the things that struck me about this journey today has been the number of water towers. I'm a big fan of these American water towers in all the little towns. We're pretty rapidly heading towards our destination. This has been so laid back and chilled. I've not really talked about the journey or the roads or the police convoy too much, but it's been going like an absolute dream. Now you can see we're plunged into darkness now, and this is the part of American Truck Simulator that I tend not to really show on my videos because it doesn't really highlight an awful lot of the scenery. There's not a lot going on, but I wanted to drive from daytime into dusk and then into darkness on the delivery today. Now we're very close to our destination anyway, and so in a few minutes we will be there to drop these giant tires off. I wonder what the giant tires are for. I don't know if we're going to maybe a quarry, and there's going to be quarry trucks or diggers or something like that, so it'll be interesting to see where we drop this off today. Just before I leave you, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not long back from holidaying down south in England, and it's something I don't tend to do very often, and I went for the first time to a really cool theme park called Alton Towers, which is about a 7 or 8 hour drive from where I stay in Scotland. And it was a lot of fun. It was really awesome. I enjoyed it. I mean, I've been to lots of theme parks across the world, and okay, it's no Disney. It's run by the Merlin Group. They're famous for running Legolands and places like that, and it was very, very good fun. I really enjoyed it. The rides there were excellent. There were some big rides, some quite tame ones as well. It was really excellent, and the best thing about it was when I went, there was literally no queues. Why did the cop car just stop there suddenly? We almost ran into the back of him, okay? That would have been a little bit embarrassing. Very rarely been to a theme park where there's been no queues for the rides. The only other one I can ever think about is now closed, was Cypress Gardens in Florida, in Lakeland, I think it was, Florida. That used to be so quiet that you could just jump on any ride anytime you wanted with no bother at all. Now, if you do go to the Merlin attractions often, then what I did is I made use of the Merlin annual pass. I'm not sponsored, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that I bought the £100 annual pass, and if you can go off season, as I did, then that annual pass pays for itself within a few days of going to different attractions. So if you're keen on visiting lots of the Merlin attractions throughout the UK, of which there are of course many, then definitely look into getting the annual passes. Like I say, I went for the cheapest one, the £100 one. I think they go up to a few £100s, but for me, it paid for itself within a couple of days of visiting a couple of the Maryland attractions. So if you are a fan of theme parks or dungeons or Legolands or Lego Discovery Centers or Sea Life or anything like that, that might be worth it for you. Well, that's us at the yard. We're just pulling in. We've got the gates open for us. We don't quite have the fanfare at this side. Folks, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for listening. Please let me know what you thought about the video, or just say hello down below in the comments. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, then as always, leave me a like. If you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing for more American Truck and other sim related content. I guess our huge tires are for some of these diggers that work in this yard. So we'll switch the engine off. Check our parking job, looks good to me. Wind down the landing gear and let's see what they give us. Well, we did 182 miles, took us a little over 6 hours, and we made a good chunk of money there, just short of $15,000 to go into the bank. Thanks so much for watching, but most importantly, have an excellent day, and until the next one, take care.